50 years ago, Berkeley, California was famous for its free speech activism. Today, it is a very different place. This week, Berkeley's city council unanimously declared to be the world in, quote, a climate emergency. To fix that emergency, Berkeley called for a push to halt all carbon emissions worldwide and said governments must make efforts to, quote, humanely stabilize population, a phrase Robespierre would surely love. Anushay Hossain is a writer and political commentator, and she joins us tonight. Thanks a lot for coming on.
Thanks so much for having me, Tucker.
I'm a pretty literal person. They say it's a climate emergency. Sounds right to me. So if it's an actual emergency, why does anyone in Berkeley have an air conditioner or a car? I mean, if they really believe that, no, it's sincere. I mean, I hate to sort of ask that people live out their purported beliefs, but if they're telling the rest of us we need to have fewer kids, why are they still driving and using AC, honestly?
You know, I totally agree with you, Tucker, but I also don't think they're just telling us to have less babies. I mean, climate change and the impact that human beings have on environment is related to a lot of stuff, not just the amount of children that we're having. It's about carbon emissions. It's about eating less meat. So I think we can all agree that we care about our planet, but it's not just about having less children.
Oh, no, and I don't think it is. And by the way, let me just say for the record, the whole idea is totally no, I think the idea is insane and grotesque, and it's a window into what this really is, which is social control.
But is that what Berkeley is saying?
They would even mention how.
Is that what they're saying? They're not
it's an emergency.
It's an emergency. Everybody stop having babies. But it is. Is it not an emergency?
Okay, but hold on. If they are saying it's an emergency, presumably they believe it is. So how can they justify riding buses, having cars, refrigerators, any activity that adds to the sum total of CO2 emissions?
Exactly.
Why are they still committing these activities? No, I'm serious. Why should I listen and take anyone seriously who is driving a car and simultaneously telling me not to have more kids?
Well, I don't think they're saying that. It's a combination of factors. And the climate is really complex, Tucker, right? It's not just one thing. You need to stop having babies. I need to stop riding my car. I think in general, the younger generation, the millennials, are becoming more environmentally cautious. We have more ride-sharing apps. I mean, I think the technology is catching up to the fact that people are becoming more conscious.
Young people are much poorer because they are deeply in student loan debt for degrees that mean nothing because they have bought into a system that is essentially fraudulent. And they have no money. Actually, that's up there. Environmentally consciousness.
They are. The millennials are. Okay, that's also one part of it. There's more than one factor, Tucker, when it comes to climate change and what we can do to reduce our impact on it.
Look, I actually am in favor of a clean environment. So I wonder why, have you noticed this, that places that spend the most energy telling the rest of us that the world is ending because of climate change also tend to have the dirtiest streets and the largest number of people relieving themselves on the sidewalk and the most trash? Why not, if you really care about the environment, maybe you could clean up the sidewalk in front of City Hall. Does that ever occur to liberals, I wonder?
You know what? Not just liberals. It's not liberals that are responsible for climate change. It's all of us. And I agree with you. We can't just talk the talk. We have to, you know, also follow up with actions. And,
but wait, why? No, but seriously, if you care about the environment and making the world cleaner, and by the way, sincerely, I am for that. Can we all
agree that we agree with that? We all want to keep the environment cleaner and save our planet.
Yeah, but have you been to Berkeley recently? Have you been to New York City? Have you been to San Francisco? There are people with their trousers down, relieving themselves on the sidewalk, and then walking around them are environmentalists on their way to lecture me about how many kids I have.
Yeah, but you know what? It's not necessarily about where in the world is more populated. It's about who is using more resources. And I completely agree with you. We all have to do much better.
I think we're sort of talking past each other. Can you agree that if we're going to make the world cleaner, we can start by cleaning up the sidewalks, and then maybe we can get to the part about fixing the hole in the ozone layer?
Yes and no. I don't think it has to be either or. It's every day.
Then why is it? Why are the cities with the most open and aggressive commitment to the environment the dirtiest? Why is Portland, Oregon a filthy place downtown?
That's not necessarily
when everybody in Portland is an environment. Have you been to Portland, Oregon recently?
I'm not talking specifically about Portland, but not all in cities that are saying that we need to do better about our environment are filthy. Where are you getting that stat from?
Okay. but just track with me really quick, just for this one question. If you say you care about the environment, do you agree or disagree that maybe you should start by cleaning up the street in front of your house?
It's not. Why can't you do both? Do both.
I'm not saying you can't do both, but why is it that the people lecturing me about the environment live in environments that are filthy?
We all care about the planet. Okay. We can all do more.
Right. No, we don't all care about the planet. I care about the planet. That's why my house has nobody sleeping on the front step, because I care about the environment.
Okay, so what kind of car do you drive? Okay.
I don't have a car. That's how committed I am.
Oh, really?
Anushay, great to see you.
Thanks for having me.